Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Two Idiots Reading Comics. This week's episode 105, part 2 of Thor God of Thunder. As always, thank you for being here. Tell your friends, your family, anyone that wants to listen to comics and be a part of our comic book world. Go check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and anywhere you get your podcasts. And let's get into it.
And welcome to the best damn book club on the internet. My name's Ryan Talmadge. That's Davis Crocker. This is Two Idiots Reading Comics. And today we're doing part Thor. Part 2. Which that 4 doesn't even match. Part 2 of Thor God of Thunder. Honestly, I haven't finished Donny Cates' run, but possibly the best. Not that I've read a lot of Thor. But possibly the best Thor story I've ever heard or watched on TV.
You talking about God of Thunder right now, the best story, or the Donny Cates run?
No, what we have read the past 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
most definitely.
Easily,
this is
the best Thor story out of, anything I've watched or read. Granted, Love and Thunder hasn't come out yet. But at the same time, coming out this weekend. Same time, it's based on the story, so don't fuck it up.
Hopefully they don't fuck it up. Got some gripes we can get into in the comic, but as always, let's get to our credits. Got our writer, Jason Aaron, penciler, Butch Geist, number 6, artist, Asad Ribic, 7 through 11, inker, Tom Palmer, color artist, Ive, I-V-E, Svorcini, S-V-O-R-C-I-N-A, and letterer, VC's Joe Sabino.
What's up, Joe?
Ooh. We get him a lot too.
I know. Him and Clayton Callis.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, easily the best Thor story I've ever experienced, whether watching or reading.
When we stopped reading this last month, it was very hard when we got stop it we can do the episode on air and not fuck up anything for later. So we're not sitting here second guessing ourselves. I wanted to read it immediately.
Oh yeah.
I want to go right back to it.
That and it's just fucking great. I don't know where I was going, but I thought one of the points I liked the most is how they used the fact that gods live so long that they just genuinely forget, and the whole thing with time travel is if you go to spend too much time in one time part of the timeline, you forget everything else that happens, apparently. Correct. I don't know. They even mention it in the stories, the rules of time travel is dumb and, annoying. Yeah. But in here, where they basically explained how they don't remember any of this, I thought was funny, but also, kind of genius, where it's, they live so long they forget, and even if they didn't, the laws of time travel wouldn't let them remember.
Right.
Definitely was a great pull to, cover their ass.
I did also like the way we had the time spread out in this. You get...
And it wasn't hard to follow in the first part, but, the fact that, for the most part, all three of them were together. Yeah. And so you didn't have that confusing part from volume 1.
That helped out a lot. The only thing that confused me was the whole... how Viking Thor ended up with current and future Thor. But it just took me a minute.
Gore grabbed him to make him
a time stone or something.
Yeah,
time crystal.
Yeah, something that he got from that lake or whatever. That little pond.
Brought him to current
because he wanted him to put the final net. Because that Thor is the one who injured him.
Correct.
And made him all right, I can't just single-handedly kill them all anymore.
That was the Thor that he wanted to be his. That was the one he wanted.
That's
to punish,
who he wanted to prove his point to.
Until current Thor, they called him Thor the Avenger. Or Avenger Thor. Goes and saves a planet from a volcano. Yeah. While in the middle of a fight with Gore. Yeah. And then goes back and fights Gore. Yeah. And then Gore's like, "This is why I hate gods."
And this is not even that's not even the most badass moment.
No, that was just
that moment where Thor hits the two hammers together,
cleans Mjolnir and sucks in
the thing, and then it's at that moment, all the gods, as they were dying, realized that Avenger Thor was the greatest of all the gods, and it's all the gods prayed to him. Yeah, and it's you even had a flashback of Odin praying. It's Thor save us
Please.
or whatever.
Like,
yeah,
like you
and it
are
was just
my
like,
son.
holy
and
shit.
and with when Thor,
Like if they don't give us that moment in the movie, I'm gonna be
they're
pissed.
not going to. I bet you they don't do it because I've got some.
Why?
I just feel
We have
like,
at least one Mjolnir there who
I
has
just
his
have
hammer.
I just have a bad feeling that we're getting the Thors in the comics and what I've heard from.
I mean, you're
some
definitely
stuff
not getting.
is you've got this aggressive Thor and godly Thor, but in the movies we're getting this comedic relief, this jokester.
Yeah, but they've tried to give us these super introspective Thor from Thor 1 and Thor 2.
Yeah,
It didn't translate well.
They didn't. They really didn't.
And it is eventually, I mean, like, they showed in Ragnarok, like, yeah, it's funnier when he's just a goofball. But, like, in the end of the movie, sure, that's not what you,
Yeah.
he's like, he has his moment of growing up a little bit and realizes, like, oh, it's never about the hammer.
Yeah.
I have the power of thunder.
Yeah.
I'm the god Thor.
Okay.
So
And I hope we get that.
they show you the ha-has in the trailer to get you to come.
That
But
is true.
I would hope they would. Obviously, you're gonna have some serious moments.
I just have a feeling they're trying to pack too much in this one movie because they've already said there's not going to be a part 2, right? That this is its own entity.
Yeah, I would imagine. But
I just feel like there's going to be too much to try and also expand on the Gore storyline because you got to Thor with the event. Well, Thor's got to get fit first, which is probably a 5-minute montage.
oh, that's like a montage at the very beginning.
But then you've got
He'll be
to have
Fat
him
Thor
with
for like 2 scenes.
Guardians of the Galaxy, which I figure is
I
probably
think
a
Guardians.
20-minute.
I think Guardians of the Galaxy are out in 15 minutes.
So you think the
we're
weight
not gonna
loss,
get
you
like
think the weight loss and
And-
Guardians are gone in the first 20?
Yeah.
Wow.
like first 15. Yeah.
Wow. But see the way they set up all the other movies, they set up the whole
We're not gonna get any like.
they to me
funny-
I thought
we'll
they'd been
get
setting
two
up
funny-
the Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor.
No, we're getting 2 funny interactions at most with the Guardians of the Galaxy. One they already put in the trailer,
Where
and yeah,
where
he's like, you just need to find someone
Quill
you
is-
love.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's like it's gonna be a montage of A, him getting in shape, and B, going on adventures with the Guardians of the Galaxy, but realizing that's not what he really wanted.
True.
And then like just like in the trailer, he's like, I had to go on my own and figure out what I am now.
Okay.
So
All right.
and then I
And
think
I
the
would
bulk of
imagine
this
while
story-
he's with Guardians, that's when he's going to start finding the dead bodies.
yeah,
Like he's going to start finding
would
dead
be-
gods.
that would probably
like,
be-
hey, wait, something's going on here.
that would be good. And then I would also imagine the bulk of the movie is going to be explaining Lady Thor, whatever we have to update with Valkyrie, because I would
And-
imagine she would probably act as like the third,
And
and
the Greek
then-
gods.
putting in like Thor growing up, which will be with probably Jane and
Yeah.
all that. And then they've done better as villains, and I think I saw like someone wrote in a preview they said Gore the God Butcher is easily the best villain they've done outside of like Thanos, who they dedicated
Damn.
20 movies
20
to.
right, 20 movies too, and they're gonna
Yeah,
Gore.
they're saying
a
Gore
movie.
is probably like the best single movie villain they've done.
Wow.
So
I hope they don't. I hope they treat him properly.
yeah,
I'm not a big fan of the way they're
giving him a
doing
face.
his aesthetically.
Yeah,
Though I do know it is Christian Bale, and
Yeah,
Christian
who
Bale
can-
probably told him, "Yeah, I'll do it, but you got to make it still like
Yeah,
people
I'm
got to
not-
still know it's me.
I'm not Voldemorting
Yeah.
that shit.
Like y'all still got to know it's me, motherfuckers."
I think he just probably didn't want the makeup.
That too. I mean, it probably
Probably pain in
saved
the
a
ass.
little money.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it be cool to get the Voldemort
I mean, yeah.
and the head tails and
Yeah.
just
Obviously.
now what I thought was cool coming from this story is we get the Necro Sword. That
Is
that
that
the
mentioned
power-
in Null storyline?
yeah.
Okay,
that
I was
Noel,
making sure- it
Noel
sounds-
created the blade to start killing gods.
Because I know he also, in War of the Realms, when Dark Knight showed up, he said he did something with that too, but that's
Correct.
not the Necro Sword.
But is it?
It's not.
Okay.
It has a separate name.
I think it is.
It's not.
All right. Well, I mean,
I'm pretty
swords
sure
can
it's not.
have different names, but be the same entity.
I'm pretty sure it's
It's
not.
that way in Harry Potter. The wand is the same wand, but it's called 100 different names throughout history.
Okay, well, we'll Google it in between episodes and we'll confirm next week when we do One Piece.
Because I thought the whole idea is that Black Knight is not Black Knight. Yeah.
Yeah, Black Knight.
Black Knight, like that sword is the Necro Sword, the dark sword.
No, it's a different. Now Noel had something to do with that, but they said this sword was created in the story. They said by the Elder Gods, So I would imagine, I don't know if that's who was king before Odin, or maybe it was the people in charge of the Eternals.
Yeah.
I forgot what they were called them. Celestials to fight Null. So I didn't know if it was, because that whole Null thing was a while back.
Right. I mean, and we got
there were so many crossovers.
Null created a sword, and then he also created Venoms, like
the
symbiotes.
Yeah,
and so you
somehow
get this weird.
It ties into like, I think it was like the same type of magic was used to create the Dark Knight. So I don't know,
but in saying that, we have seen Gore with a sword.
Yeah.
And it would be cool if they do go ahead and introduce the whole Null-esque story.
Yeah, like, I don't know, I still haven't found the video for you, but there is like a fan theory that all of this could eventually be leading to Null. So
that would be
cool.
I would really enjoy seeing Null over.
I think a lot of people are going to be upset it's not Galactus that they're doing.
I was about to say, but Galactus is. If you
I think
go
you
back
need to
the
establish
70s
the
and 80s,
fantasy.
You go back to the 70s, 80s, and 90s, Galactus was the villain.
Yeah. I think you need to establish the Fantastic Four before we go full on Galactus.
And this would be a cool tie-in until we get to Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Because, yes, it's coming.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw Chris Evans as...
Not Chris Evans.
Not Chris Evans.
John Barenthal.
Yeah.
Nope, not John Barenthal.
No.
That's the Punisher. Jim from The Office.
There you go. You get to see him in his Fantastic Four outfit, and with the way that, like we talked about, with Doctor Strange being the same person throughout time.
Yeah.
We're gonna get throughout multiverse. We're gonna see him again. We've got to, and that would be really cool if we get to see a little Null first.
Yeah,
and then we get to bring in Galactus maybe, or we go to Null.
I don't know if they're gonna do it because they've done a very good job of separating Spider-Man from the whole universe. Even though they did, a piece of symbiote did get chopped off in that end credit scene in Spider-Man, but they've done a great job of separating basically everybody.
It's true. Like literally the only ties Spider-Man has is Tom Holland.
Yeah.
And those three
movies. It's like no one knows who he is.
And
you could easily just not ever reference him again.
Yeah, because they literally did.
No one knows who he is.
Yeah, they wiped him from history.
Yeah. So who knows? But as far as this book goes, it's awesome. Even though we just did our top 10 list last week, you should check it out.
Yeah.
Early running, even though it's only going to be a volume 2.
This is going to be up there.
This is going to be in the top 10.
If we can remember. Or if I can remember. But going back to the story, I like that the Thors lost first.
Oh, yeah.
And that you still get to see what Thor's force and change from Odin's force, which was really cool.
Oh, yeah.
Just how he just can sun punch Gore and it actually scares him.
Oh, yeah.
Then they he nails future Thor to a comet, shoots him off into space, sends current Thor into the fucking planet.
Yeah.
And young Thor's just being drug around like a bitch.
Yeah.
Use the other gods.
Cut his heart out and put it in them bomb.
Use the other gods to cover the Mjolnir, so if they pull Mjolnir to them, it would kill who they're protecting.
Yeah. It was just badass. And then I don't know, it's old Thor basically telling them like, I was not basically telling them is like, change whatever you have to change. I know you'll forget this, but like we're gonna fail a lot and we're probably not gonna be a great all father, but try to learn from mistakes. Please do like everything you can. And they explore that idea, especially like current day, because I think in Donny Cates' run he is the all father. So it's just an awesome thing to explore.
I did like to see how Gore went from hating gods and killing gods, and then he became everything he hated.
Yeah, pretty much.
And his wife that he did just create her right from his powers.
Yeah, that got a little confusing, but it was like basically
like
she
was created, like, and then probably they lovey-loveyed, and then.
But also his son was like the piece of him that was still basically the man he was at the very beginning. That he didn't like gods, but also like for this specific reason and wasn't blinded by his hate for the gods.
Right, and then when his son sees that he killed his mother, or that Gore killed his wife, the sun actually turns against him and saves Avenger Thor.
Yeah.
And then just then the fireworks happen.
Yeah, that's when Thor goes and meets a badass and all that shit.
The greatest scene is when current Avenger Thor takes the Mjolnirs both
and like hits them and
smacks
sucks them
them
into
together.
himself.
That was just that was great.
Oh yeah.
When did you think? What did you think the final weapon was going to be?
I don't know. Oh, like the bomb?
Yeah, like
I definitely didn't think a bomb.
Yeah,
I didn't know what he was.
Yeah.
I was sitting there wondering. I was like, how's he gonna kill? When they showed Thor alone on Asgard and he was trapped in there, I was like, oh, Thor's the only god left. So I didn't think about there being like a whole obviously universes that he couldn't. And it just kept confusing me when the librarian and all the other gods kept popping up. I was like, I thought Thor was the only one left. Like, what the hell are they doing? And then that dude was the god of bombs, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, when they said that, I was like, oh, man.
It was like, okay, well, now I see where this story's going.
And then they show that all the gods that he's using as his fuel,
slaves and stuff,
and that it's apparently a time ripple.
Yeah, and then basically it'll kill every god through every timeline and every universe.
Future.
Yeah, so it's very awesome. Definitely check it out. But this week's segment,
I got one final thing. Okay. Did you ever want to root for Gore to just see what the universe would have been like?
No, I mean, I guess I kind of got his point, but at the same time, it's like same thing with Thanos. I thought,
like, yeah,
I kind of agreed. Like with Thanos, the world's way overpopulated, and we're gonna burn out eventually. And I kind of agreed, like, cull the population a little bit, but at the same time, like, anytime you get that obsessed about doing, and yes, he believes he's doing what is right, it's like,
it's too
I see your point, but like, you're kind of,
no one agrees with this.
It's like, oh yeah, it's like, you're kind of right, but at the same time, majority rules, and it's just like, you're gonna end up hurting a lot of people in the process.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, but yeah, this week's segment is Mount Rushmore, which is basically just a draft, but whatever, of alternate versions of heroes. So a lot of cynical people will be out there and be like, "Oh, it's the tokenized draft," but
I like alternates.
When done well, alternates can be super awesome. And I'll talk about when they're not done super awesome in my shit list this month. I think at the last episode this month.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but we're doing Mount Rushmore / draft of alternate versions of characters. Now we didn't plan this very much in advance, so we're going to do it top of our head. So I'm going to have to edit a lot of pauses. You're giving me
you're going first.
You're giving me 1-1.
I'm letting you go on 1-1.
I mean, obviously, Miles Morales, the Spider-Man. Miles Morales Spider-Man, without a doubt, is my favorite.
I'm going to go Wally West Flash.
Now, is that an alternate Flash, though? I think that's a sidekick.
No.
Who took over the mantle.
So we're not playing by those rules.
Yeah, no sidekicks taking over mantle.
Shit.
So you're not getting Dick Grayson Batman
so
either.
You lose Dick and
you're not getting any Robin Batmans.
Oh shit! So you just screwed me. Oh.
Yeah, no. We're talking about like alternate
universes. All right. The Beta Ray Bill Thor. I really enjoy.
All right.
Some of the comics we've seen of him, and now how to spell this.
He's got the serious Boba Fett thing, where it's like he's such a badass, but is also like the less we see of him, the more badass he is, because they have a less of a chance of fucking him up.
Like
someone will
fuck
this up
like
eventually.
In this movie coming up, I'm sitting there going,
please give us
if they gave us Beta Ray Bill, it would just be like, okay, all right, that'll be. Now he never carries Mjolnir. He has the axe.
He gets his own hammer, yeah.
No, he carries
some
the
type
axe.
of like.
Oh,
yeah.
it's like the
like
axe,
a gold.
But it's got a hammer.
Yeah,
it's got a flat hammer on the back.
Yeah. But yes, Beta Ray Bill is definitely high up there. Alternate universe. I hate to go all Spider-Man, but there's so many you could do.
Right.
I'm going Thomas Wayne Flashpoint
Yeah.
Batman. Definitely. Didn't have his entire life to learn how to fight, so he uses guns.
Oh wow. Oh my. I'm kind of brain farted because I was thinking. I
were thinking
went to
sidekicks?
sidekick too,
Oh, yeah,
who
no.
became not just alternate universe.
I think I got two. Now you can do technically like they can still be like Bruce Wayne, but it's just not main universe Bruce Wayne because that is an alternate universe.
Yeah. Alright. Can we take a Green Lantern?
That's same
Um,
because they're all main continuity.
pause.
They just can
Yeah.
control different sectors.
Well, to keep me going, I'm gonna have to go with the White Knight, Bruce Wayne.
Okay, cool.
I'm
also taking someone from the White Knight
I'm gonna have to
universe.
go White Knight, Bruce Wayne.
Yes. Okay. Surprised you didn't take White Knight Joker there. He's probably the most interesting Joker I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
But that's not who I'm going to take. Apparently, I am just a huge Gen Z Spider-Man fan. I'm going Spider-Gwen.
Okay.
You've got all those granted, we said we didn't want to overload on Spider-Man.
Well, I was about to say, yeah. I was like,
Spider-Verse was in both of our top 10s, and there's like 50 different Spider-Mans in there you can choose from.
Well, we could do the cop out.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna do Peggy Carter.
Oh, okay.
We gonna
Her
count
version
that?
of Captain. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, that makes my last one easy then. I was afraid I was going to get picked. I almost picked her that
Peggy,
round.
Was she Captain America?
Yeah, I don't think she officially goes by Captain. Peggy Carter.
Super soldier. I mean, she in her alternate universe, she becomes what Steve Rogers would have been.
I must say, because she doesn't have an American shield. She has a British shield.
Right.
But
in her alternate universe, she takes the serum over Steve.
Yeah. All right, so this makes mine super easy. Harley Quinn of Batman White Knight universe.
Yeah.
She's not like super crazy. She just loves her man, and someone I've seen spoilers already, but like I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I already know what happens in Batman Beyond White
Knight 2.
So
There's
the volume 1 of it already out?
There's White Knight
White Knight 2
that we read.
Yeah.
There's another White Knight.
Yeah, that we also read.
Then there's
Batman Beyond White Knight.
Then there's another one.
So is the first Batman Beyond White Knight already out?
Yes.
Okay, that's going next month.
I believe.
That's going next month if it's already collected.
But
yes, that Harley Quinn is like the smartest, and I'm just genuinely attracted to Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
So you want to take your last pick?
Yeah.
Have you seen this thing about they're doing a sequel to the Joker movie? And it's supposed to be a musical with Lady Gaga in it?
Yeah, Lady Gaga's going to be Harley Quinn.
I hate the idea of it, but I'm also very attracted to Harley Quinn and very attracted to Lady Gaga.
Like, the way the first Joker was...
It's not a comic book.
I could see where a
musical...
Make it a musical? Well, you can
It honestly sounds like...
Disney movie.
No, it sounds like... They're like, hey, we made a lot of money with that Joker movie. Can you make a sequel? And the guy who made it was just like, I don't really want to do this. Let me pitch something they'll never say yes to. And he's like, all right, hear me out. Joker 2, musical. And they were like, okay. He's like, what?
And then he tries to really throw him off by
like,
Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn. They go, damn right, let's do it. And he's just
like,
dude, I can just imagine his face just sitting going, you've got to be fucking kidding me, y'all.
It's like I made it as expensive and dumb as possible. Like out of principle, I don't want to see it, but like Harley Quinn, Lady Gaga, it's just
Yeah, it's gonna be. They're gonna have to do it. They're gonna have to.
I know. It's
Wow.
so dumb. Like I wasn't.
Oh yeah, dude.
I wasn't
Just the
that big of a
idea
fan of that
being-
movie in the first place. It's like first off, and this is another like thing people have been talking about recently is like, why are we redeeming all of our villains all of a sudden? Like
Villains are villains for a
villains,
reason.
like people can just be bad. Like I live a town over from a church that got shot up this week
Yeah.
in Vestavia, and like sometimes people are just evil.
They're
Like
fucking evil.
yeah, so not to bring up anything super politically charged, but like people can be evil, and that's so it's not
Okay.
It's not okay, but like there's nothing we can do to help it. Let's start, especially that stupid ass Sony universe. I'm glad I don't have to watch anymore. But like, you don't have a Spider-Man. Stop trying to turn all the villains into tweeners.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, like that wasn't a comic book movie. It was a mental health movie. Like,
Oh yeah.
almost just watching someone go insane. But we're gonna make it the Joker. And so yeah, I'm not the idea of a sequel. I'm not super ecstatic on, other than my own just perverted Lady Gaga and Harley Quinn-ness. So. Okay, so did we pick your fourth?
Nah, I gotta pick my fourth. Now,
okay.
there is alternate timelines where Barry Allen Flash becomes Reverse Flash.
Okay, that works.
To me, it's a cop out because I just know he does it, and I can't really explain what he becomes.
But it's an alternate timeline.
But it is an alternate.
Now, Injustice is an alternate universe. I can't remember if Flash is good or bad in that. Don't they just use him as like a battery though?
They just use him as a battery.
Okay, but that's
Well, he's
Superman.
with he's on Superman's
inside.
team, but
I don't know, but
I'm gonna go Barry Allen Reverse Flash.
Okay. I'm mad I thought of that list so late because that's an awesome universe.
Yeah,
If those weren't so if those volumes weren't so long, I would
they
definitely.
are so long.
I know we'd definitely read some on here. We might do a part 1, part 2 coming up soon.
But yeah, I would imagine the whole Barry Allen becoming Reverse Flash is the whole the whole idea that Reverse Flash
Is that
I
something they
can't
did in the
remember his
TV
name.
show?
I believe so.
Okay, what counts?
The whole idea that Reverse Flash wants to be the Flash. Like
Mhm.
he creates the Flash to have somebody to hate, but then also wants to become in his own perverted way.
Yeah.
Figures out a way to become the Flash, which then
Mhm.
alternates Barry.
Oh fuck! I didn't think. I thought it just
It
Flash
would
got tired of people's shit and became
no.
Reverse Flash.
The way it works in my head is that he
So it's like a
becomes
chicken
the
and the egg
Flash and
situation?
he turns into Barry turns into Reverse Flash.
To get the powers of the Flash.
Well, to just then instead of trying to get the powers of the Flash, he becomes a villain.
Okay. Yeah.
It works in my head. I'm sure with the thousands of Flash comics there are,
Yeah.
and the show, it's had to been done. But
Mm-hmm.
there's my cop out.
And there's also a very early preview of what I would assume is probably going to be Davis's shit list, and you know who, the Flash actor right now. We'll get into that later this month. But that does it for this week. Next week we're diving back into the world of manga. Picked a better book this time.
Yeah.
One Piece, and we'll explain why we're doing a little bit more manga next week.
That's right.
All right. We'll see y'all next Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye.